Take it easy and have fun, because there's nothing serious going on here or really anywhere. There are a whole lot of people that need things to feel serious in order to validate or justify their existence. But you don't have to validate your existence. Your existence validates your existence. Your being here. So focus on what really matters, which is how you feel. And that's what we call calibration. Calibrate. In other words, feel your way to the best feeling you can find in any moment in time. And if you can't find one, it's okay. Big stuff must have been going on. Take a nap. Do something to break the attraction. And here's why. We're just going to lay a sort of basis for this and for what's coming next. In every moment as you're moving about in your consciousness, as you're moving around your environment of past, present, or future. We mean your thought environment. We mean your observational environment. We mean your desire environment. We mean your memory environment. As you're moving around your environment, you're walking into, and Esther's been reaching for the word because it's an atmosphere. This law of attraction is an atmosphere. Esther's been, because we offer blocks of thought, and she reaches for words that match up to that block of thought. The block of thought is happening at an unconscious level. And so she reaches for the words that are in her vocabulary. She doesn't speak other languages, so those words aren't accessible to her. But she reaches for blocks of thought. So what is this that Abraham's defining here, describing here? An atmosphere was the best word. And then last week, for the Abraham Now broadcast, someone wrote in an email and said, I think the scientific word that Esther's looking for is field. Like there's the field of gravity. And Esther felt the resonance of that. Yes, field is a really good word for that. So there's this law of attraction, this field. Einstein was looking for a unifying field. It was the last thing he talked about, the last thing he wrote about. The law of attraction is it. The law of attraction is the unifying field that is present in all science, present in all biologies, present in all aspects of all things. And what it says is that which is likened to itself is drawn. In other words, it's vibrational matches. It's what makes the world go round. So you're walking around in this vibrational field, and it's like, and this is a rough analogy. Esther's been reaching for analogies to define it the way she can feel it, but it's like you're a bag of marbles, a bag of metal marbles, and everybody else is too. And when you enter the field of the law of attraction with your bag of marbles, those marbles, they don't all connect to every other marble because they're different marbles. In the law of attraction, they're different marbles. The law of attraction is only going to bring the marbles that match together. So you walk in with your victim marbles, and if there's anybody in the vicinity that is a match to you, well then it's a relationship for a moment. When Jerry began visiting with us way back in the beginning of our co-creation, he said to us one day, Abraham, I think there should be islands of incarceration. The murderers should all go to one island and do it to each other. And the thieves should all go to one island and do it to each other. And the rapers should all go to one island and do it to each other. And we said those vibrational islands exist. This law of attraction field makes sure of that. Jerry didn't like hearing that because he said, why does the victim end up on the same island with the victimizer? It's because there's a vibrational match. What you push against, you offer a vibration about. What you fear, you are calling to you. There's no such thing as no in this attraction-based universe. There's only yes. So when you see something you really don't want and you shout no at it or even think no at it, you're actually saying, come to me, this thing I do not want. And then even as it's becoming, long before it becomes so critical, even as it's becoming, the discord that you feel is your indication that you're out of whack with who you really are and your own desire. It's not about the person that you're shouting no at. It's not about the evidence. It's not about the manifestation that you're shouting no at. It's about you giving your attention to the opposite of who you've become and causing a tug of war within you, which is what negative emotion is. Positive emotion is when you feel great, when you feel satisfied, when you feel eager, when you feel in love or love, when you feel appreciation or any of that stuff that feels like empowerment. That's you and your inner being all in sync. That's you calibrating to that, you see. So we're really happy to have this conversation with you. We know you know what we just said. We just want you to know it so much that you relieve yourself, release the feeling of wanting to defend anything. Sometimes it seems like it's great, big, really important things. There are a lot of big causes in this world, things you care deeply about, and we get that. But you know what makes up the majority of your point of attraction are things like that. Just little slights, things just not going the way you want them to, someone looking at you the wrong way, or someone in a place of insecurity not feeding you the way you would like to be fed in that moment, and you coming to conclusions that may or may not be accurate about them, but that's irrelevant. If it doesn't match what your inner being's thinking about them, then you feel the tug. You feel the tug. And so that's what we're talking about here, is finding a way that when you feel the tug, to know what it means. I'm out of whack with my own desire, and my inner being is looking at this differently. And here's why you feel the tug that is negative emotion, all the way from disappointment to fear and true disempowerment. Here's why you feel that tug. Because your inner being knows who you are. Your inner being knows what you're in the process of creating. But here's what's really going on. Your inner being is non-resistant. Only love, no hate. Only clarity, no confusion. And so on. And because that perspective, that point of attraction, is so absent of resistance, when the law of attraction, when your inner being walks into the field of law of attraction, and it does, constantly, even while you are sleeping, when your inner being walks into that field with no resistance, there is a powerful calling. All of the cooperative components are gathered toward the fulfillment of that. You have no idea the power that is working on your behalf. And so you ask for it, no matter how big or small, insignificant or significant it seems to you. When you ask, whether with your words or with your defiance about what you don't want, because when you know what you don't want, you're asking for what you do want, whether you're articulating it or not. You've created a vibrational reality. Can you imagine what the combined vortices of your human population, the culmination of all of that is? Can you imagine what you've asked for and what kind of well-being is gathered? Do you know that's why your Earth spins in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, and the water moves around the planet and feeds you, and you don't have to truck in? There isn't any place to truck it in. Seeds from other places. Do you understand the continuation of your thriving on this planet? And do you understand that that's why you keep asking, and source keeps focusing, and manifestations keep happening, and it will always be so. Your inner being never on your behalf causes a deprivation of anything that you have evolved to. But you do it all day, every day. He took my stuff out of my suitcase. Well, was it oversized? Yes. Was it more ounces than the rules say? Yes. But it's been in there every time. Feels kind of silly, doesn't it? Feels kind of silly. All those things that you use as your reason to not calibrate to what you want. Your inner being and the law of attraction are gathering the cooperative components. We cannot state in strong enough words what that means to you. It means you can be or do or have anything. One who is in alignment with that kind of attraction is more powerful than millions who are not. And so it's time to give up the comparison and the feeling of compromise and the judgment, and just start calibrating by wanting to feel good.